Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so yesterday we did the 200% leader skill showcase for the STR Super Trunks. So now we are back to have a look at the physical Super Trunks and see how they stack up against each other. So they're very similar units. They have the exact same link set for a start, which is not surprising, right? Because it's basically just two different versions of the same card. But the passives are quite different. The super attack is very different. So if we start with the passive this time for this guy, as you can see, it's much shorter. Key +4, attack and defense 200% at the start of the turn. Disables enemies guard, weakens regeneration. And that's it. So remember, the STR one gets a bit less attack and defense at the start. He gets an extra 100% defense for the first few turns. And then he also gets an extra 50% for the first 2 turns that then stays permanently. So he starts off with a nice amount of defense, builds up a little bit, and then can stun, which I think makes him good for Super Battle Road. This guy just starts off with 200% attack and defense, and then his super attack, remember the STR one raises attack and defense for 1 turn. This guy raises attack and defense for 3 turns, which means you can actually get a few stacks off of this. So I wanted to make sure that since we're basically like comparing the two, I've bought the exact same team that I bought for yesterday's showcase for the STR one. Obviously the only difference is that we have the physical one instead. So we're still running the tech one as his link partner. They share every link except for Soul versus Soul. So we're starting off with 164k defense with no support on the rotation. When we super attack though, that is going to go up to like just over 200k. So that is pretty good for the first turn. And then remember, like I say, he actually does stack because he can get that super attack effect multiple times. He has the disables guard ability, which, I mean, when comparing it to other like super attack effects and stuff, it's not the best. But it does mean in this phase, for example, we actually do slightly more damage. And you can see there the attack stat jumping up because we get the additional super. So that means his defense would have jumped up as well. So it would have been probably over 250k defense. Turn 1, which is pretty good. And then obviously on the next turn, we're going to be able to get another stack because it's stacks for 3 turns. What that essentially means is that you can get the stack 3 times, right? Like if a unit can stack for 3 turns and then somehow gets like a triple super, which obviously this Trunks can't do, you would be able to get all of those stacks in 1 turn, which is pretty good. But let's go ahead and do this. Of course, he survived with the tiniest sliver of health, but I guess that just gets us back to our Trunks rotation quicker because we're just going to finish this guy off here. So it'll be interesting to see. This next one is going to be his, it should be his full attack buff from his super mechanic, but he should also have support. So he's going to be looking very good. In fact, I think we would have been missing 1 link on the previous turn, which was Super Saiyan with the Tech Trunks. But obviously we had it from the Goku and Gohan in the middle instead. So now, look at that. Start of turn, 329k. I'm fairly sure that that's higher than we managed to get the STR one to, even in the first 10 turns when he had his extra 100% buff, especially at least after we actually get the buff from the super attack. So let's go ahead and put him in slot 1 here. I didn't realize there is not a support unit, it's the other Goku and Gohan. So still, this is all unsupported. Double digit damage from the normal attacks, we would obviously expect that. 3.35. So I wonder if he's going to be able to crack 4 million with support, because I think that was the furthest we managed to get the STR Trunks to. I think he only just cracked 4 mil if he did an additional super. So obviously his thing is only raise attack and defense for 1 turn. So his attack stat was pretty consistent unless you're able to get that additional super, which then obviously bumps it up a little bit. So definitely looking forward to seeing this guy with support on the rotation, because just from initial impression from the first couple of turns, he looks a lot better than the STR one straight off the bat. I did say in the video for the STR one yesterday, obviously he has some pretty good Super Battle Road utility, what with having the ability to stun, which obviously this guy does not have. Like I say, disables guard is not exactly like top tier, highly sought after super attack ability, is it? But Well, no. Speaking of super attacks, you're not getting one apparently, Goku and Gohan. So very bad orb placement there. Obviously, they're not getting any help from the Xeno Vegeta, who we are only bringing because it is a showcase. Like, the Xeno Goku and Xeno Vegeta are both really, really good, but as I've said in videos before, I don't like bringing a team build like this where Xeno Vegeta does not support this rotation at all. He only supports the double Trunks rotation, so I don't like to bring a support unit that is not giving any support to one of the rotations. Seems a bit crazy to me, but alright, so now we are at 279k. So 300k, this is obviously, some of his stacks will have started to wear off now. So let's go ahead and do this, and then do this. Hopefully we could get a triple super turn, double super turn here. That would be really, really good now that we've actually got the support on rotation as well. But I mean, defensively, he's going to be very solid here. The only stage, obviously, that is potentially going to cause some concern is when we get to the Ozaru, because of course he would just one-shot this Trunks with a super attack. So, hey, we get the double super. Let's go. So 3.8. So it does seem like the two of these guys are pretty evenly matched, because we're seeing very similar super attack stats, I should say. Very similar levels of defense. Interesting. The problem with this guy, and I've mentioned this before, I know I mentioned it recently in a video, is units that have this ability where they stack for like 3 turns are always really annoying to manage, because you get that turn where the stacks wear off and then you're back to like base. It's the only issue I have with the Tech Super Saiyan 3 GT Vegeta, because I love that unit. I think he is so good. People sleep on him for real. Like on the 200, even especially now on the 200% team, he is absolutely a fantastic unit. He got such a good awakening, but he has the ability where he stacks for, is it 6 turns? So you can start seeing some really good numbers out of him, both offensively and defensively. And then all of a sudden, you check his stats at the beginning of the turn, and all the numbers are a lot lower than they were previously. Now, it's not a huge deal, but there can be those instances where it could actually be a problem. Like, imagine, obviously, in this showcase, because we started off with a double super, we got 2 of his stacks in the same turn. So then, obviously, 3 turns later, those stacks would wear off. If we had that timing where we were going into the Ozaru phase, and it was on the turn where, like, all of his stacks had worn off, then obviously that could be potentially dangerous for us, because that is the turn where we obviously want him to be looking his best. So here we have 298k, so we go up to like basically almost 400k defense on super here. We probably would still get taken out by a super attack, I want to say. I'm really not sure. Would it do 400k damage? I feel like it would, because the Ozaru is a real pain. So I'm going to use a Princess Snake here. I really don't want to go through the ordeal of being supered and dying and then having to start the video all over again. So we'll see what happens. So if he does get hit by a super now, at least we know he is actually going to tank. But double super from Tech Trunks. I feel like his is quite a long way away, but his and the AGL Zamasu EZAs are 2 EZAs that I'm really, really looking forward to. I feel like those two are going to be insanely good, because Trunks is still good now for long events. Yeah, he did super. How much does this do? Was that 30? Was that only 36k with a Princess Snake active? It was. Wow. So Princess Snake is definitely one of the weaker damage reduction items. So we actually didn't even need to use it. I'm actually quite surprised and impressed. We would have taken a lot less damage than that than I was expecting. So that is pretty cool. Fortunately, we're going to get the Dokkan attack here, so AGL LR Gohan can get us out of this accursed Ozaru phase. And then we don't have to worry about protecting our physical unit that we are trying to showcase. Nothing more annoying than the unit that you're trying to show off in an event getting tagged by a type disadvantage super and ending the run. Because unless the unit is specifically a tank or has guard, a unit getting super attack type disadvantage in like end game content, if you don't have a defensive item active, it's basically GG, like for anyone. It doesn't reflect badly on the unit, but obviously in terms of recording a showcase video, I can't die like, you know, halfway through what I would like the length of the video to be and then just go, oh well, I guess that's the video, we died. So, but this is where I'm very interested to see what Trunks is going to do. We got no support again though on this rotation, unfortunately. So we're at 246k. So let's go ahead and do this. So we've got the type advantage here. We can get another super in for you as well. And then we can get the exchange. But, I mean, we're not really here to see Goku and Gohan, so I'm not too worried about that. So, yeah, double digit damage, that is what I would expect. I do kind of want to see him get hit by a super. But 3.1. I mean, again, he is very similar to the STR Trunks, right? We're just seeing similar numbers both offensively and defensively. So realistically, in terms of like, you know, in conclusion, like what do we think about these guys? They're decent. I mean, it's just exactly the same thing that I would have said in the video yesterday about the STR one, is I feel like they are a decent pick for the team. Because obviously if you want to run Goku and Gohan's team with every single unit on the team being under the full 200% leader skill buff, theirs is quite limited in terms of the units that you can bring. And so, you know, the Super Trunkses are a fairly solid option if you have, like say you're building your team and like I said, you want to have the full 200% leader skill for everybody, and then, you know, you're just like one member short, right? There's 5 units that you really want to bring, but you can't decide on that last unit. Then the Super Trunkses are not the worst choice in the world. Obviously, the physical EZA Future Gohan requires you to have a Trunks around for him to get his full passive. Whilst he doesn't link super well with the Super Trunkses, they obviously can be an option. It's a real shame because we talked about it in his showcase as well, because I've already done the 200% showcase for him. But for the AGL Dokkan Fest Trunks, it's a real shame that they don't link up very well. It's another big disadvantage of the AGL Dokkan Fest Trunks having shocking speed and not prepared for battle, because that rotation would be so good. Once physical Gohan actually gets cooking and has like really good damage reduction on top of his already very good defense, that rotation would actually be very, very powerful. So let's go ahead and do this. We could probably make this the last turn here. Well, actually, no, I kind of want to see how he tanks against Tech Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because I assume that normal attacks are just going to be tanked for double-digit damage. So 3.5, can we get the additional again? We do not. So 3.9, obviously the Tech Trunks has taken over now because of his infinite stacking. We get a crit? Nope. Double super though, now we're over 4 mil. Because that's the thing, this guy, when he came out, he was like the defeater to the OG Legendary Goku event. But he has aged a little bit now. Takes him quite a while to stack. But I mean, obviously the GT Legendary Goku event is not quite at the difficulty level that it once was. So not too much of a challenge here, especially for this particular team build. So let's go ahead and do this. Put you in slot 1. Might as well just grab all of these for you. Grab those so that we can grab the STR one. There's 8 orbs there, so it's going to pick up them instead. I would have preferred the little bit of extra health, but that's just me. 8.6 million from our boy Gohan. I think the friend is only 2 dupes. So Gohan, when he is fully built up, is a bit of a beast. Yeah, additional super for 9.2 million. That's pretty good. Whilst, you know, also guarding and taking literally no damage from anything on global at the moment, pretty much. And the only thing, even when he's fully built up, I think he still takes like 20k or whatever from the Blue Evolution Vegeta Final Flash, but that's not really too bad. So Tech Trunks is up to 460k defense. So I think we will let him go first, because yeah, he could tank a super in slot 1 a little bit better. I do want to see Trunks get hit. Maybe not with a super, but would be interesting. If physical Super Trunks gets supered in the video and he dies, then he dies and the video ends. But let's see what he's going to do here, because he should still be more than high enough defense-wise to tank the normal attacks for double-digit damage. So, okay, he's going to super Tech Trunks. So Tech Trunks should take barely any damage from this. He's got, like, ridiculously high defense now. 136k still. I mean, I guess this event does hit a lot harder than the OG Legendary Goku event, which this Trunks pretty much released as like a hard counter to. But yeah, it takes double-digit damage from normal attacks. So there you go. That is the physical Super Trunks on the 200% leader skill team. Very similar performance to the STR one. Personally, I think that it's quite hard to split between them, which one I think is better. I remember thinking that when their EZAs came out, just the fact that they are so similar that it's kind of a weird choice for me. But let me know what you guys think down below. Which one is better? Which one do you prefer for certain teams or certain events? Let me know down below in the comments section. And as always, if there's any other 200% leader skill showcases that you guys want to see that I haven't done yet, let me know down below in the comments as well. I have made a playlist for all the 200% showcases across the various leaders, so you can feel free to check that out and let me know any other ones that you want to see. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.